Good evening and welcome to tonight's special assignment. I'm your host, Ashraf Garda. On the 21st of September, Kenya was rocked by terrorist attacks that left more than 70 people dead and dozens injured. As the world came together to condemn the attacks, it emerged that one of the alleged terror masterminds had used a fake South African passport to gain entry into Kenya. This put South Africa's own security situation under scrutiny. Now, Special Assignment is in possession of footage that shows a Zimbabwean prophet predicting the attacks before they occurred. We get an exclusive interview with this prophet and we ask pertinent questions about his prophecies and why the attacks could not be prevented. This investigation by Peter Moyo.
On 21 September 2013, Kenya was hit by terror attacks. It was a siege that would claim the life of a South African citizen as the terrorists shot brazenly.
He was actually shot 4 times and not 3 times.
The top suspect in this all-cowardly act, this British citizen who had entered Kenya using fraudulently acquired South African documents. But should authorities have taken heed of this prophet's warnings a year before the attacks?
And this is a bomb coming up there. And I've specifically said Kenya. I didn't say England. So you write it down.
It all came like a wave. On a busy day like any other, Kenya found itself faced by a terrorist attack. Gunmen had stormed this mall in the heart of the capital, Nairobi, shooting and killing anything in their path. Children, women alike, no one was spared. Bodies littered the streets as survivors scurried for cover. What had once been a peaceful and quiet shopping mall now resembled a war zone. Witnesses said the gunmen separated Christians from Muslims before mowing them down with bullets. In this CCTV footage released afterwards by the Kenyan authorities, the gunmen can be seen moving from one shop to the next, searching for survivors. But who were they?
They are clearly a multinational collection from all over the world. We have an idea, and we also have an idea that this is not clearly a local event. We are fighting global terrorism here.
There are between 10 to 15 armed terrorists inside the building, as well as many unarmed, badly shaken, innocent civilians.
Meanwhile, Somali rebel group Al-Shabaab was quick to claim responsibility for the attacks, saying this was punishment for Kenya's involvement in the Somali conflict. Kenya argues it had been left with no choice but to get involved to protect its national interests along this 640-kilometer border with Somalia. But this has left Kenya in the firing line. As the storm settles, questions are now being asked about Kenya's intelligence capabilities. Could the Kenyan government have done anything to avoid the attacks? Special Assignment is in possession of a video which seemed to have been made long before the Kenyan attacks. In this video dated 23 September 2012, this British Zimbabwean prophet Uebert Angel seemed to be predicting the Kenyan attacks a year before they happened.
Seeing a lot of these people expanding their war games in Kenya. And this is an open space where officials are. Open space. Like you can go there and do your market there. And this is a bomb coming up there. And I've specifically said Kenya. I didn't say England. So you write it down.
The prophet again repeats his warning 10 months later in this video dated 30 June 2013.
We need to really pray for Kenya and get the Lord's mind settled in the country. Because there is a lot of progress happening in Kenya. But this is a small group that decided the Christian community is going up too much. Let's kill some people. And I saw even like a police, like a, what do you call it, an authority, you know, where even guards are there and they are bombing. And this I'm talking of Kenya. I didn't say China. I said Kenya. Did I say Kenya?
Exactly 2 months before the attacks on 21 July 2013, he reiterates the need for prayer to avert the attacks.
Remember the Kenya prophecy. These are days closing. They are coming close and coming close. To say how did they get in there, no one knows. Some of them using even homemade material, not nice ones. You know, a situation where people make these small things and they have got spikes and but it's explosive. We are starting to pray Wednesday going forward. Then we end 21st.
Prophet Uebert Angel, who is based in Zimbabwe, is not new to controversy, having previously predicted other widely publicized deaths like that of Margaret Thatcher, Michael Jackson, and former Malawian President Bingu wa Mutharika. We called him into studio and I began by asking him about his gift of prophecy.
The gift of prophecy is only forth-telling. The office of a prophet foretells, and are foretells and tells. That means it goes to the past, the present, and the future. Only forth-tells only changes the future. That's the gift of prophecy. But it was, you are born with one. You don't graduate into one.
So you don't go to a school of theology?
No, you don't have to. It's not about theology. It's just the sovereignty of God. It's election by grace. When God chooses you, that's what happens. And you wake up one day, you know some things that you shouldn't know.
You prophesy events way before they happen, even about the shootout in America. But then let's come to how come you mentioned Kenya in last year on 23 September, that the massacre could not be stopped?
Yeah. Let's not concentrate on just it could not be stopped. Remember, the prophecy is the response of the human spirit to the voice of God. So I'm not independent. A prophet is void of personal opinions.
Yes.
So I just listen to what God says and then I relay it to the people. If they choose to listen, if they listen, whatever happens is up to God.
Since last year, there have been a change of government in Kenya. Did you reach out then? Did you reach out, let's say, when the new government came through?
You know, Kenya is going through a lot of transition. There's a lot of things that are there, a lot of things that are going there. We have not actually built a lot of contacts there.
Yes.
Not that we don't want to or not that they don't want to, but we have not reached a level now that we can talk to them about these things. You know, to understand prophecy, people have to believe in what we do.
Now, what's your take on this issue? Should we take prophets and these prophecies seriously?